Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Bounty Hunter series here in Elite Dangerous. I'm trying to make sure we have a little bit of variety going on, so because we have this community goal that has us going out and doing some exploration stuff, I want to be able to do a little bit of different things when those things are available. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more in the way of exploration today. So let's pick a direction. I think we'll go north this time. We'll pick a spot that's like, say, this far out. Zoom in, pick a system to like start going for. We're not going to do 47 jumps. I just need to have something to do to go do that. Now, if you saw my build video, you understand that we can do this because I have my ship set up so that I can basically just go do whatever I want without having to return to Jameson Memorial and swap out a bunch of gear and equipment and stuff like that. We're set up so I can basically just do all of the stuff I normally like to do and not have to change anything. So we're equipped with the fuel scoop that we need. We're equipped with, you know, a reasonable jump range. We're equipped with the surface scanner so that we can just switch to that as an option. We can switch our mode and move over to the discovery scanner and surface scanner. I have everything set up in a way that makes it so that I don't have to do any kind of adjustments to my ship. We are always ready to go for whatever typical missions we would normally do. And if we want to switch over into exploration or something like that, we can. Now, obviously, if we want to do mining or something else like that, or cargo missions, obviously we have to go back and swap out the ship because this is not for that. But for general purpose, running around the galaxy, doing a bunch of different stuff, this is an amazing ship for doing just about everything. So let's get our fuel scoop on here. We'll go ahead and get ourselves down below the plane of the system, hopefully. And then we will hop into our discovery scanner. We basically scanned everything here, so let's just go ahead and move on to the next system and see what we can find in the next one. I mean, I could put pauses in, but it doesn't really make sense because it's just gonna be like, we're gonna get in there, see if there's anything there, pause, see if anything there, pause, see it. So I'll try to babble my way through this video. It's not gonna be any more than like 10 or 15 minutes, just because ideally it's not gonna take us that long to find high metal content and rocky bodies, just to kind of stay ahead of the curve. I'm not really trying to get any higher than the 75th percentile, but I would like to stay. I would like to stay there as much as I can because I don't want to get to the point where we drop below it and then I have to go do a bunch of exploration all in one sitting. That's not fun for me, unless that's really like what we're trying to do. Like if we decide to go back out and do some kind of a deep space series again, and I'm seriously considering it. I'm seriously considering doing another deep space carrier series, depending on how efficient the new mining options are. If the new as much as I don't want to spend any more money on this game because they still refuse. Well, I don't know. It depends on what they're. I'm all over the place right now. I want this game to be something, and sometimes they make me feel like they're going to do it, and other times they make me feel like they just really don't care. So I don't know. Man, we're just coming to a lot of systems that have no bodies in it. I would love for the exploration gameplay loop to just be updated to be a little less obnoxious, because the way it exists right now, and I've made a video about the full spectrum system scanner, the way it is right now, it's an obnoxious process, and I would really like to see it optimized in a way that makes it more fun to do. But the biggest reason why our deep space exploration series kind of went away is that if I'm going to go out in the deep space, I kind of want to bring a carrier with me when I do it, but refueling it really sucks. It takes several hours a week, you know, to do the refueling for the distances that we're trying to cover. So if the new mining is substantially better and makes it so where maybe I only have to sit down and do, you know, 1 or 2 mining sessions a week to get the kind of fuel that I need to keep the series running the way I want to keep it running, then we may revisit the Deep Space Carrier series again, because the concept of it is a lot of fun, and while we're out there, it's really awesome and nice. But what do we got here? Oh, they really need to restrict when these show up, because like that's all the way on the other side there, but it's still showing up as an option for me. That's really annoying. You see what I mean, though? This is why the full spectrum system scanner is just a super obnoxious function for me. I want something that is much more streamlined than what this is, and this is just, it takes too long to do this. All right, that takes care of all of the options in the system, so now we can switch over to the map and make sure I want to make sure we're going in order so that we don't accidentally go and rescan one. 41C is what we're looking for that. I turned it off way too early, but that's okay. We'll get there. And then we'll get this guy scanned and move on to the other 2 bodies in this system that will count towards our goal. All right, we're approaching the planet. Waiting for the surface scanner to switch to saying too fast so we can hop into here. This only needs 4 probes. We have the expanded probe radius, but it's pretty quick to just pop out 4 probes. So we'll just go ahead and get that done. Hop out of here, switch back over to the system map, and select the next one in our list of things we need to do. Flip over towards that guy, boost. We're going to wait until 42C this time. And then approach just like we did the last one. I don't necessarily mind the surface scanning process. I don't know. I'm of 2 minds about it. It's not that bad, but I feel like you end up spending most of the time spent doing the surface, or, you know, trying to get surface scanning done is traveling to the target. So I don't really see any reason why you couldn't just make it... Oops, wrong button. I'm pressing a bunch of wrong buttons. Hello. Off that. I don't really see why you couldn't just make it something where you just fire a single probe and it just takes care of it for you. I don't know. That's mostly nitpicking. Like, if we could just get rid of the detail, or the full spectrum system scanner, and make that process quite a bit less, like the process of just identifying which bodies you want to scan quite a bit less obnoxious, I would be much happier to go out and just do exploration. The other side of that, though, is just that they need to come out with rewards for the gameplay that are worth your time. And unfortunately, all right, that's it for that one. That's it for that one. Target next system en route, and off we go. They need to come out with reward. Oops, what am I doing? They need to come out with rewards that make doing the exploration grind worth it, because credits just aren't enough. It's like when you talk about billionaires and stuff like that. At a certain point, they don't care about the money anymore. They care about the prestige. And there's nothing in the exploration gameplay loop that you can work towards becoming prestigious that makes putting in crazy amounts of time doing the exploration worth it. So, they need to make the gameplay loop more engaging and fun. The full spectrum system scanner is not it. Anybody who says anything different, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but you're not going to convince me, because there is, like, you may be okay with it, I am not, and there is no point that you can bring up that's going to change my mind on it. I detest the system as a concept fundamentally. So you can leave in the comments, oh, the full spectrum system scanner isn't that bad and it's better than what we used to have and blah blah blah, and I'm like, that's fine. I disagree with, I agree that it's better than having nothing, but I disagree that it is the solution we should be going for. And you will not go ahead and try. I appreciate comments because it boosts engagement, but there is nothing, not one single thing, period, that you can say that is going to convince me that the full spectrum system scanner is what we should be using. You're just not, because it's my opinion. It's how I feel about it. And my opinion is just as valid as your opinion. End of story. That's just the way that it is. So feel free to leave your little comment talking about how the full spectrum system scanner is the best thing since sliced bread. I fundamentally disagree with you 100%. End of story. This isn't even an argument or a conversation, because it's my opinion. You have your opinion. We're allowed to have differing opinions. And so, yes, please leave a comment telling me how I'm wrong, because it helps my channel. But I'm telling you, I disagree with you 100%, and there is not one single thing you could ever come up with that will convince me that I'm wrong. Because I'm not wrong, it's my opinion. I'm not stating a fact. I'm not stating a fact here, I'm stating my opinion. My opinion is that the full spectrum system scanner is a bunch of bullshit and they need to get rid of it. That's how opinions work. So, yeah, there's that. I don't know what else to say. Like, people want to get on here and argue with me about how, like, no, you're wrong and this and that and the other thing. And it's like, you can't be wrong with an opinion. Like, if I'm trying to state a fact, that, from a factual standpoint, this is this or that is that, okay, you can have an argument with me. But if I'm just trying to tell you how I think that the full spectrum system scanner is a bunch of bullshit, like, there is no arguing with me on that. That is my opinion. That is how I feel about it. And, you know, you can try. I guess you could try to, you know, maybe... I think some biological stuff going on here, too. I guess we can go ahead and do some scanning, since we haven't scanned these bodies yet. So we got some icy bodies and some asteroid clusters. I mean, it's not like we have anything else to do, so we might as well make some cash while we're on this trip, I guess. And where is... See, this is why I hate the full spectrum system scanners. It's telling me there's more rocky bodies, and instead of just pointing me towards them, like honestly, I could kind of live with the full spectrum system scanner if you got these arrows by just selecting the frequency that you want, and it just pointed you in the direction of existing signals. So that way I could just go and follow the arrow to the signal and then find it. Then I could kind of live with the full spectrum system scanner. But right now, this right here illustrates why I detest this fucking thing to no end. Because now, instead of just, like, I know I'm wasting time explaining it to you, but it is. It's a waste of time for me to have to now just fling around and hope I come close enough to it that it's gonna, you know, maybe give me an arrow or something, and I actually find what I'm looking for. But no, it's not. So look at all this time we're wasting, flinging around, trying to find the, you know, it tells me there's still a signal, but it doesn't tell me where the signal is. And so now what? I either have to just give up on it or spend a freaking ridiculous amount of time hoping I come across it. This is the part of the full spectrum system scanner that drives me insane. Now, the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to go to the gas giant, right? So there's a gas giant somewhere over here. So I still have to blindly scope around, hoping I come across it, following orbit lines, hoping I come across. Okay, here we go. So now we can zoom in on this guy, right? So now we've got that, and I'm guessing that now that I've gotten zoomed in enough, oh, okay, here we go. Now I can find the rocky bodies that are left. Like, this whole process is just stupid. It is completely stupid and an unnecessary waste of time, and I can't stand it. It bothers me so badly to have to expend time, to waste time on that kind of stupid fucking bullshit. And I'm cursing because I want you to understand just how viscerally I hate this system. I hate it. I can't stand it. You're wasting my time by forcing me to do it this way, and I hate people. Detest, rage-filled anger when people waste my time. At work, in my personal life, in video games, in anything. Time is the most precious resource we have, and when you're forcing me to waste it over some bullshit, it makes me angry. So, that's my opinion. You don't have to like it, but it is my opinion, and you're not going to change it. And I would like to see a change to the exploration system that makes it so that you're spending a lot more of the time that you're putting in getting meaningful results, rather than fucking around with a stupid thing that shouldn't work the way it works. And that's how I feel about it. And you will not change my mind on it. You're just not going to do it. Now, if they at least relented enough to put the arrows in based off of frequency rather than proximity, so that you can just immediately go towards the thing you're looking for, then I think I could be satiated. Because at least then you're not wasting a bunch of time groping around blindly, hoping you find whatever it is that you're looking for. I think I could kind of live with that. So we're going to see what's on this planet. If it's worth going down there for, we will. If not, like, realistically, unless there's, like, stratum tectonicus or just something that, you know, something that's super visually interesting, we're not going to waste our time. And this is the litmus test. If this doesn't have it, all the other planets are pretty much going to have the same thing. We're not going to waste our time, you know, trying to figure all that out. So we got some bacteria, fungoida, osseous, and tussock. Completely boring, not anywhere close to worth our time. So we'll just finish scanning the bodies that we need. Rocky World, we have not mapped that planet yet. So let's get over there and get that guy scanned. So, you know, I know when I get like this, some of you guys get really annoyed because, you know, you don't want to hear complaining about the game. And, you know, some of you are just enamored with the game as it is and you think it's just fine the way it is. I'm sorry, but I 100% disagree with you. And I have many hours doing many different things in the game, and a lot of exploration time put in. And, you know, I'm fully aware of how the full spectrum system scanner works, right? I had somebody leave me a comment talking about how many hours do you have in, you don't seem to know how it works. And it's like, how about you go back and watch my playlist of like hundreds of exploration videos and watch me use it, and you'll see I know exactly how it works, and I give you plenty of demonstration on exactly how bullshit the system is. Okay, so you can say you can disagree with me, but I know how to use the frequency scanner, and I know how to look around with the thing, and I know how to zoom in, and I know how to target things, and I know how to do. I have an optimal understanding of how to use the full spectrum system scanner, and I'm here to tell you, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It wastes your time, and I can't stand things that waste my time, and that's my fundamental problem with it. So yeah, even if they just change the programming a little bit to make it so that by selecting a frequency, it gives you little arrows to everything in the system that matches that frequency, I could kind of live with that, I think. I think I could kind of live with that. And that would be a super simple, quick little patch change to make. They wouldn't even really have to do anything other than just, you know, make a slight little change in the programming. Rocky World, we have not mapped that one. So let's get over to that. I think we'll finish mapping this system and then probably head back because we've already we got a plenty of scans in this particular one, and because there's a bunch of exobiology here, even though we didn't go down to get it, we'll get a little bit more money because there was exobiology on the planets that we scanned. That was almost. I wanted to make sure we didn't hit that ring. So yeah, there's that. So I wouldn't. I could live with that being a small... Oh, what am I doing here? I could live with that being like a small change that they add. And then I could kind of live with it. Because at least then I could pick the frequency that I want and only go and get those. That would make it worth my... That would make it like worth your time to do. But the way it is right now, there's just way too many instances where you're forced to just fling the damn scope around until you happen to come across whatever it is that you're looking for. And I can't stand that philosophy. The philosophy in and of itself just grinds my gears, and I can't freaking stand it. It angers me just thinking that people think that it's okay to waste your time that way. Right? So, you know, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. I'm mostly just rambling on about it because I don't have anything else to talk about right now. I'm trying to finish this out, and then we'll head back and turn in our stuff. And who knows, maybe we'll bump up into the top 50 percentile. But I ramble on about things I'm passionate about, and I like the concept of exploration, and even though there isn't really that much to explore, I don't mind a grind, as long as the grind is optimized, right? I can sit there and do the same task over and over and over and over again, as long as I feel like I'm doing it to the I'm doing it in the most efficient and profitable manner possible. It's when I feel like there are steps in the process or parts to the process that are unnecessarily complicated or unnecessarily time-consuming or unnecessarily just kind of dumb, that I start to get angry and frustrated, and I don't want to do the grind anymore. And that's why a lot of people don't like the. That's why a lot of people, for most of the time that we've had engineering, haven't liked the material grind, because it wasn't set up in a way that allows you to come up with a process or a system or something. Huh. They're all rocky worlds. Well, let's get this water world since we're here. That's a fair bit of money. We'll get this water world, and then we'll grab the rest of those rocky worlds, and then we'll head back to the station. I'm the kind of person who played like World of Warcraft over and over and over again, leveling different characters over and over and over again. And part of the reason I liked it is because, yeah, it's the same thing over and over again, but you get a different aspect to it every time because you're playing a different character every time. That's part of it. And then the other part of it is that you can get to a point where you're optimizing your leveling process so that you're spending as little time as possible doing the actual leveling part, and you feel like you're efficiently getting to the part where the character is powerful and fun and, is doing a bunch of different stuff. And that is what makes games like that fun. It's the variety of being able to do a bunch of different things, sure, but it's also just the fact that you can feel like you're getting things done, and you can feel kind of like a badass because you're able to just get to the point. You're able to get to the efficiency part. And the problem with the full spectrum system scanner is just exactly that problem. You're not able to get to a point where you feel like you're super efficient because the tool is fundamentally set up in a way that is not allowing you to be efficient. Because rather than being able to, you know, filter for the things that you want to find, they want you to, like, they set it up to in an intentional way to kind of railroad you into saying, no, you're going to search every body in the system. We want you to search every single body. We don't want you to just go after the things that you want because that's just going to leave things unscanned, and that's bad for other players. I don't care. I don't care what's good for the player base, like what's good for people who care about completionism and all that stuff. Like, I want to go get the things I'm interested in, and you should provide me with the tools that allows me to go get the things that I'm interested in, right? We don't put up with that kind of bullshit in real life. We say, you know, no, we're not gonna, don't waste my time. I have things to do. We have other things to get done. I'm not interested in you limiting this process because, oh, well, this or that or whatever other bullshit reason. No, optimize the process, right? You don't put up with that crap in the real life. Why are we gonna put up with it in a video game? This is supposed to be fun, right? Right? So, I don't know, man. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. This turned into a continuous ranting video, mostly because I'm just trying to fill up the empty silence and not have, like, nothing happening while we're doing this whole scanning process here. So, sorry. It is what it is. Where is this one? This one is 3 away. I screwed that up. We're going to have to boost again. It's hard to, like, figure out how you're going to boost towards, like, a body that's kind of close like this. Damn it. Oh well, that didn't work out very well. I think it's probably when you're really close like this, it's the ETA, but the ETA changes so fast, it's hard to really figure it out. I think it's probably more of like a visual thing to try to figure that out, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit more. Like, if we start doing exploration again, I can start figuring it out, but the way it is now, we don't approach bodies that are close like this enough that it's easy to just kind of figure out what you're doing. So this one's 11 away. See what I mean? Like, if you try to do it visually, it changes so quickly, and now we're just as far, we're further away than where we started. We're further away than where we started. Come on, slow down to 6. Like, we didn't save any time doing it that way, so I don't know. Trying to figure out where the boost is. That's just to play around with it until you figure it out kind of thing. I've figured out, you know, anything further than, you know, 20 or so, 10 or 20 light seconds away up to about 1,000 is based off of 10% of the overall distance. You know, you make your speed 10% of the overall distance, but then... And then anything over that, you're basically looking at your ETA and trying to get it down to like 3 or 4 seconds or something like that. And then once you start getting past like 10,000 light seconds, you're just kind of basing it off of actual distance. I found that right around, if at least in this specific ship, if you cut it off at right around 2,000 light seconds, that generally slows you down fast enough that you can start managing your speed. You might have to boost one more time after that, but I don't know. In general, I don't tend to. I'm usually able to slot it in right there at right around 7 or 8 seconds once the ship stabilizes. So it's just now you got to figure out this whole really close thing. The problem with the boost is that the acceleration is so aggressive that it's hard to kind of time where you're supposed to turn it off. So it's always kind of a guessing game, touchy-feely kind of thing, where you're hoping to get it. All right, 4 probes. 1, 2. This scan here should more or less guarantee that we're going to keep into the 75 percentile thing. I believe we scanned this guy already. Yes, but we have not scanned this one. So let's go ahead and grab that one. We need 1C, basically. Turn away, do a yo-yo, pull back up, 3/4 throttle. Okay, yeah, that got it. Approach. So I am fully aware that when I go off on my little ranting videos that there's just some people who are going to click off the video because they don't want to hear it. That's fine. I make a point of saying that I say what I think. You don't have to like what I have to say, and you can go find someone else who says what you want to hear. But I'm going to tell you what I think. Because, you know, why be fake? Why pretend to be okay with something when you're not? I'm not okay with the full spectrum system scanner. Like, for some of you, you think like it's not that big of a deal. To me, it absolutely is. It is a major, major deal. It irritates the hell out of me to have to even interact with it as it exists right now. And I really want to see it to be changed. So, yeah, there's that. I'm going to go ahead and cover the distance to get back to the station, and I will bring you guys back when we're ready to go. I bet you thought I was going to the wrong place, because I was originally going to the wrong place, but I did recognize that we do need to go to a specific station to turn all of this exploration data in, and I swapped it out on our way back. So we are going to the correct location to go drop off this data. We'll go ahead and close out our episode here after we turn in all of our stuff. So we just need to get inside here, landing pad 18. Landing gear comes down, and we manually thrust to our pad. Level out. Reverse thrust. Oh, I forgot. You guys have the keybinds there, so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so that's going to be it for today's episode. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links for those of you who prefer to go that route, because some people do like to go outside of YouTube to help out with the channel, so that option is there for your convenience. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.